Hello, I'm Seismic, and I want to preface by saying this is a very serious topic that we're going to talk about today, and it's a very heartbreaking thing that has happened in the Godzilla community recently. I know with the internet nowadays, there's the trigger warning stuff, so I just want to say trigger warning for this video if you are not comfortable with these subjects. While I would advise you to stay around if you are part of the Godzilla fandom to listen in on this, because this is a very serious topic to talk about. If you're not comfortable with these subjects being talked about, if you need to click off the video, that's fine. Something really bad has happened in the Godzilla fandom recently. A Godzilla content creator that goes by the name of Unknowingly, who is the creator of the Man in the Suit series, the now canceled Murder Drone analog horror series, and Stupid Cupid. So more so he's a content creator for like the horror fandom in general, but doesn't matter. He made a community post recently, and I will display it on screen now. I'm not going to read it out of courtesy for him. If you want to read it, pause the video and read it. But in short, it is a community post saying how after this post he is going to take his own life. And to give a little context, I'm going to make this really short because there is a lot that needs to be talked about in this video today. This isn't normally a video that I make, but this is very serious and it needs to be discussed. Unknowingly is a content creator who is most known for his Godzilla analog horror series known as The Man in the Suit. It is a story revolving around the suit actor who plays Gojira in this universe being obsessed with playing the role of Godzilla and essentially melding himself with the suit. And the series talks about a lot about like the evils of corporate greed. There's an investigator character who's trying to stop this whole thing from going down. There's a lot of like body horror stuff in it, and it's overall a very well-structured and very nicely crafted series. He started posting about this series in 2023, and he made about 12 episodes of it. And from this, for some reason, he started getting a lot of criticism and a lot of backlash and a lot of harassment and death threats towards him for, in the grand scheme of things, very nothing burger problems. And we're going to get into them here in a minute. A lot of this harassment and a lot of this just this negative backlash from the Godzilla fandom caused him to at first cancel the series entirely, which fair enough. If you don't want to work on a series that if you're working on it and it's just getting nothing but hateful comments on it and whatnot, and you're getting a lot of harassment from it, fair enough. But recently, a couple days ago, he posted this community post, and I've been a part of this fandom for about 20 years. I'm 22 years old, and I watched Godzilla Final Wars when I was 2 years old, and ever since then, I've been a part of this fandom, obviously. I now am a content creator for the Godzilla fandom on YouTube, and in my experience, the Godzilla fandom, for the most part, is nice. A lot of good people, a lot of great people who have done a lot of amazing things. And from what I have seen, and from the groups that I have accumulated myself with, everyone is allowed to express their own opinions. This isn't the first time we have dealt with drama in the Godzilla fandom. Back then, there was the Deadzilla situation with him being a pedophile. Then in 2024, there was the very unfortunate circumstances for Alyssa Charpentier, otherwise known as, I'm pretty sure, the Goji Geek. She had left the fandom because of really creepy individuals who were saying very, very inappropriate stuff about her when she was a minor. And she would have a lot of these opinions that were her own and sometimes would disagree with how the MonsterVerse is carried out. And so she would get a lot of harassment from that. And so eventually she left the fandom. A lot of content creators like Kaiju Kim, Donnie Winter, Matt Frank made videos revolving around it. And this drama this harassment with Unknowingly had been going on for a very long time. I mean, pretty much ever since the Man in the Suit series had started. There was a lot of positivity and support for it, don't get me wrong, But with most minor groups of people who have nothing better to do than complain, their voices are often louder than the ones who support and show positivity towards the man in the suit. And so recently he had made that post, and so far, from what we know and from what I've seen inside of some insider Discord servers, we still don't know whether he's here with us or not. God forbid that, his attempt was successful. I give my heart and soul out to Unknowingly's family, and I seriously hope that he's doing fine, that his attempt was unsuccessful, and that he's getting the help he needs. I'm going to make this really quick. As someone who has struggled a lot with mental problems, I want to give a message that you are never alone. Please reach out to someone. Taking your own life is never the answer. It never has and never will be. What is left after you are gone, I don't think many people realize how much it will hurt the people around you who genuinely care and love for you. So I will be linking some sources, some resources down in the description if you are having these thoughts. Please reach out to someone. If anything, if you need someone to talk to, I always link my Instagram in my videos. So you can come talk to me as well if you need to. My account is a safe space for people to feel comfortable. And the fact that we are now in this position where a teenager, because at the time of creating this series, I think it was confirmed that he unknowingly was 15 or 16 years old. He had just began his teenager years. He was just beginning his life, and he had made something absolutely beautiful. And then you have all of these, apologies for my crude language, and descriptions, but you just have these basement dwelling, no life, just insects who come in to his comments or his other socials to harass him because of small, minute bullshit reasons. Now, I do want to preface that I'm not the most acknowledged on all of the drama that has happened. I just know from my experience that Unknowingly had been receiving a lot of harassment over just small, minute stuff with the man in the suit that was extremely unjustified, and he didn't deserve it whatsoever. If there is any sort of information out there regarding this whole situation, I will look into it further, but it seems like that is the main gist of what has happened recently. And now it has accumulated to where he feels that the only way out of this is through suicide. And that's just never the answer. My heart does go out to him and his family. And I seriously hope, I pray to God that he's okay and that he wasn't successful. And we can only hope for now. We still have no information on it again. We're kind of just right now just sitting and waiting to see if we get any updates. But my heart goes out to his family. I know that this is a very tragic thing to be going through right now. And I can only hope for the best for him. And I can only hope that he is safe and that eventually he gets the help that he needs. When the Alyssa Charpentier drama was happening in 2024, I had made some Instagram stories about it, giving my 2 cents on it. And I want to preface by saying also that is this whole situation in this fandom, is this whole situation that's happening right now new for any fandom? As morbid as it is, no. This is something that unfortunately happens a lot with any fandom. From my personal experience, I've never heard of something like this happening in the Godzilla fandom in specific, but I could be wrong about that. But being in this fandom for 20 years, I have seen a lot. And I might not be the most acknowledged to speak about this, but Other people on YouTube have been making videos regarding this situation and trying to put a stop to this and stopping any potential future instances of this happening, because no one deserves to go through this. No one. This is truly a nightmarish situation that is happening right now. It's heartbreaking. It's enraging. It's demoralizing. And it's just depressing what is happening. I had watched The Man in the Suit multiple times, and I really like the series. The main thing that I really like about it is the body horror segments of it. I think Unknowingly did a fantastic job on that. Is it a perfect series? No, but what is? Everything has its flaws, and in my opinion, that's what makes everything beautiful. And he had posted recently that he was going to be making a remake of the series, which had made me very excited. One of the biggest things that I heard that people were harassing him over is apparently people were saying that the Man in the Suit disrespects Haru Nakajima's, his role as Godzilla, and that they're tarnishing his name. This is something obviously, first and foremost, the worst things that have happened in this fandom is the pedophilia from Deadzilla, this fandom sometimes being so toxic in its little pockets, being so toxic that it pushes content creators out. And now this as well. Besides that, one of my biggest grievances with being in this fandom and what I've seen is the borderline neckbeard levels that I've seen people want for accuracy in this fandom, and with every installation that happens or any figure that comes out. I am someone let me give an example. SH Monster Arts. I see constant backlash and constant, if I'm going to be level with you here, a lot of just bitching and moaning about SH Monster Arts. And it has come to a point now where I just do not care. Anytime I see any sort of complaints regarding SH Monster Arts that has to do with the accuracy, I just roll my eyes and continue, because I can't care enough anymore about that stuff. There's so much stipulation and arguments and just nagging about accuracy, not even just with SH Monster Arts, with Haya, with the movies, with the shows. There's so much just crying about accuracy in this fandom that it drives me insane. And it's to a point now where we can even see it in a analog horror series that takes place in a different universe from anything else. So this is Unknowingly's world. Realistically, he could do whatever he wants with it. And that's his vision. That's what he wants to make. But then you have these fucking that come in and are like, you're disrespecting Haru Nakajima's image. What are we doing? Why do we feel the need to harass this kid because it's not accurate to the real world and whatnot? In the series, in the first installment in The Man in the Suit, it is stated by Unknowingly, in the way he edited his video, the suit actor for the Godzilla suit was unknown. He didn't say it was Haru Nakajima. He didn't say it was any other suit actor. They were unknown. And then you have these fucking troglodytes coming in who can't look at the video, can't look and study what is being shown to them, and then they just start keyboard warrioring it and commenting this shit, and then harassing him. That is one of the biggest examples that I could find in terms of people, these little pockets of toxicity in the Godzilla fandom just being absolutely just insufferable. I'm sure that there are other examples out there. And once this video goes up, I may follow up with a community post or something. The Godzilla fandom, I've always said this, and there's a lot of stipulation and a lot of arguments online whether the Godzilla fandom is toxic or not. And I want to give my 2 cents on it. Do I think the Godzilla fandom is toxic? Yes, I do think so. I think definitely the vocal minority of people who are just constantly negative, who always get into arguments online, who harass people, who dox people, who send death threats to these creators and whatnot. Unfortunately, I do think their voice, unfortunately, can be very much louder than the majority of this fandom who are in support of these unique ideas and whatnot. This fandom is riddled with, MonsterVerse and Toho loyalists, basically. They're loyal to those series and will die on that hill, even if it means taking other people out to keep their status quo. Let's just say that. This is honestly a topic that I've wanted to talk about for a while, but I was going to do it later down in the future because I wanted to better structure my thoughts on it and whatnot, and maybe I will again, but for this situation in particular, this truly unfortunate one, it needs to be addressed now, and I don't have a script for this, I'm just kind of spitting out my thoughts regarding this situation that we are going through. Now, I do want to give the fandom credit. On the community post, I was looking at the comments, and a lot of people were, trying to push Unknowingly away from, doing the worst possible thing he could do to himself and trying to, speak their mind to not take his own life, and to, they were saying that there's more to life than what's going on. It does get better. You're not alone. And I was very happy to see that there was so much. I don't even know what the proper term for this, but like so much backlash towards him potentially doing this and trying to stop him. And I was very proud of the Godzilla fandom for doing that, because he is I would definitely say Unknowingly is one of the most influential Godzilla content creators so far. He is the guy who has made probably the most popular Godzilla analog horror series on the playing field, basically. This series is so popular to the point that it even got a game theory video from MatPat, and that is speaking volumes for sure. And the fact that, unfortunately, with a series this popular, you're going to have a lot of people coming in who their life sucks and they hate seeing people succeed when they're not, so they're going to project their emotions onto people and really say and do horrific things. And it's sad. It really is. And if I'm going to be real with you, if you're watching this video and you contributed to what has happened recently, you are scum. You're not welcome in this fandom. You are the lowest tier of life, of human life, that has ever existed for pushing a child into taking their own life. Your life sucks. You live in a basement, and you're a fucking troglodyte. You are a fucking who can't do anything with their life, will never go anywhere with their life. Everyone around you hates you, and you know this, so you project that petty anger onto others, and you project it onto a child. God may forgive you, but I won't. If you contributed and harassed this kid into pushing him this far, I hope you go nowhere with your life. I hope you continue to rot. I hate to say this, but I hope that the darkest pit of hell is waiting for you. Because technically also, with this happening, those people who are harassed unknowingly, they are technically doing something that could get them arrested. And to everyone who contributed to that, I seriously do hope that you do serve time and that you do get put into lockdown and that you never see the light of day again. I hope from this as well that they are banned from every social media platform that they can possibly get their grimy, sticky mitts on, and that they can never access this stuff. You're not welcome in this fandom, and you never will be. You are the reason that a lot of people say that the Godzilla fandom is toxic, including me. I say it because of you, if you helped contribute to what has happened recently. This needs to stop. The Godzilla fandom has really had its image dirtied up recently because of a lot of stuff that has happened. You've had a lot of these people, you've had a lot of these just cockroaches come in who just ruin and taint the image of this fandom, which for the most part is good. They come in and they just cause problems just to cause problems. Their life is shit and they don't know how to process that. And so they take it out with rage and omnicity. And it has to stop. We need to stand up for each other because we should not be going through a situation like this. A teenager who at this point is either 17 or 18 should not be taking his own life because of moronic brain-dead incels on the internet who just can't shut their fucking mouth. There is a beautiful feature on pretty much every social media platform where if you do not like content that you're seeing or a content creator that you don't like for admittedly just very stupid reasons. For like YouTube, you can click on the 3 buttons that are on the side of the video and say, I'm not interested in this. Done and over with. YouTube will never show that content creator again. Or if anything, you can block the content creator so that way you never have to see their stuff again. But these idiots do not understand that. And even if they do, they don't want to follow along with that and maintain peace in a fandom. They just have to say their 2 cents, which amounts to less than nothing. I honestly didn't think I'd ever have to make a video like this. This should not be happening. This should never happen to anybody. And yet here we are. A young and aspiring creator who can create amazing projects has now been pushed past the tipping point. I don't know what to say to that. It really just solidifies my opinion that this fandom is toxic. And I don't know if there's any way that my mind will ever be changed on that just because of what I've seen. The Godzilla fandom, ever since the Monsterverse, has grown exponentially. And then thanks to Godzilla -1 and Godzilla x Kong the New Empire, it has just simply skyrocketed beyond the clouds. And while I do like that this fandom is getting bigger, more people are coming in and seeing what, Godzilla, Kong, Ultraman, all of the kaijus, what they're really about and what they can bring to the table. They see that and they like it, and everyone likes their own different thing. That's beautiful. I like that. Unfortunately, it's a double-sided blade because now we have been facing a lot more toxicity in this fandom. And now it's gotten to the point where a young and aspiring and amazing creator has made it public that he is no longer going to be with us. And we just can't have that happening. The good side of this fandom, we need to stick up for each other and call out whenever someone is being harassed. A good video that I will refer to is Matt Frank's video regarding the Alyssa Charpentier drama that happened in 2024. I will be linking it down in the description because since he is an older individual and is more experienced in this fandom, he is more knowledgeable on this and he can probably give more insight into this in a more calm manner because as I speak right now, I'm not angry. I'm absolutely livid that we are at this point. So I may be more honest and more vile with my choice of words right now, but I do not care. I'm going to present it to my community straight up on how mad I am regarding this situation and how devastating this whole situation has been and how I'm going to give my 2 cents on it. For this fandom to start getting better. We need to start spreading more positivity and pushing out the negativity like a virus. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. I will say that. If you have a genuine opinion and you say it in a professional and adult way, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if I'm going to go into more personal experiences, I have also sometimes dealt with just not even criticism, but just sometimes a fan in the Godzilla fandom just coming into my comments and just being like, I don't like this. This is a bad video. While my account is a safe place for people, it is also a place where I will not tolerate people just coming in and essentially just acting like fucking babies and just crying in my comment section. I've had to block a lot of people because they will just outwardly spit non-constructive criticism, and it's just hate, essentially. And that is just something that I do not tolerate on this channel or any of my other social media platforms, and I never will. I'm not going to have someone come into my space and be dramatic because their life is shit. And again, if you did contribute to what has happened recently, I have no respect for you. Fuck you. And I seriously hope you rot away. No one remembers you. And you suffer in hell. Because that is what's waiting for you for pushing a kid to this point. I know this video is probably going to be a longer one. And there's not going to be a whole lot of editing. But at this point in time, we need to stand up and really give our thoughts on what is happening to those who are not in support of what's been happening recently, who want to hear that Unknowingly is alive and to hear that he is recovering and that he will get the help that he needs, because no one deserves to go through this. Once again, my thoughts and prayers go out to Unknowingly and his family. And this needs to stop. This situation is pathetic that we have gotten to this point, that the Godzilla fandom has gotten to this point now. And we need to be better.